What is going on, everyone? Parsnip here, and today we are back with our Let's Build playthrough. So like I asked on my first and second video, I asked for suggestions, and one that I really liked was the dwarven build. Now this was recommended on the first video. On the second one I got a lot more suggestions, really great stuff, so I want to thank you all for the awesome ideas such as the trophy room, the music box rooms, and so on. Soon I'll get on to those, but for now we're gonna go ahead and start our underground dwarven city, which was a request made on the first video. Now what I did want to do here, like I did say on the last episode, is that I do want it to be like the three things that I first think about when I think about dwarfs. So that's gonna be mainly stone, something really sturdy, so right, it's underground, dwarfish, it's gotta protect their gold. Lava, because whenever I think of a dwarf fortress or a dwarf city, it always has lava. So I'm gonna go ahead and probably make like a big bridge going towards another area, and under that bridge or around the buildings and stuff, it's gonna be lava. Like right now, or in a bit, whenever you guys see it, I go ahead and start placing lava. Now I did make a way to go down through the main hall of my base, and you guys will notice that it's not going to be very symmetrical up top, so don't mind it. I'm just going to keep building as I go along. So after I go ahead and make the way down, which is a pretty small corridor that has a door that's activated by switches, I wasn't going to make it player centers, as I did want it to be a little more rustic, you know, something that's sturdy and I don't think it would break. So things that are really like sci-fi-ish and filled with stuff like that, I'm gonna keep out of this area down below. So as you can see now, I go ahead and start making the bridge, which I put lava first, which was a huge mistake. I should have actually made the bridge first, then put lava. It actually got in the way a ton. After the bridge, I go ahead and start working on these little thingies on the roof. I wanted something that would look cool, felt a little bit odd, and I don't know, I'm just making stuff as I go along, things that feel rustic, that feels like things that would be pretty much in a dwarven fortress. And these little triangle thingies that you guys can see on the roof is my way of doing that. Now what I thought would be a really cool idea for the bridge was to have some iron fences in the back, so it makes it look even more sturdy, and some support beams on top of the bridge, again with iron fences. Now this is going to be changed in the top because later I'm going to have to put glass, since this is a desert biome, sadly, underground. Whenever there's a storm and stuff, it's pushing you back and it just gets super annoying, so I'm going to fill that with glass. However, what I did think was super cool was how I used the minecart rails to go ahead and make like a railing to keep you safe from falling off the bridge. So once I do that, again, like I said, it will be changed a bit. I go ahead and fix up the lava, put two lamps in the bottom so it provides more light. And if you didn't notice now, you'll probably notice in a bit that I do use diamond gem spark blocks just to give it that final touch and provide more light, so that I don't just fill the whole place up with torches. Now again, one of the other things that I really think about when I think about dwarfs is them mining or smithing, so I wanted to make a cave with some ores in a minecart going downwards. Now this cave is pretty much done, it's going to be this small. However, I do plan to put multiple caves throughout the entire build. Now you might not notice this, but this cave actually took quite a bit of time, because I didn't just make a hole and fill it with torches. I went ahead and carved out some of the rocks, placed some more rocks if I felt like it looked good, changed the background, placed more dirt, more stone walls, as well as what you would see like in a mine shaft, which would be these wooden railings that's holding up like the roof with beams underneath. Now I did make it a way so that it looks a little bit 3D-ish, as you can see there, but the rail passes through the front of one and through the back of the other. Now a really cool idea I thought that would work really well is going ahead and making a black square like out of shadow paint, so it's pitch black, and the cart just disappears in there. So it looks like the cave goes even further down or things like that. I also went ahead and placed some stones in the wall and then used actuators to disactivate them. That way it just gives that final touch and a little bit more details towards the cave. Now towards the end, I'm gonna go ahead and put some ores and gems in there, be it sapphire, diamonds, topaz, and so on, because I figured why not, right? In a cave, especially in a dwarven city or whatever this will be, I'm still not sure yet. I thought that would be pretty cool. So on top, after passing the bridge filled with lava and going through the second wall, I start filling up the background. And what I decide to do here is that I'm gonna go ahead and make this pretty much the treasure storage room. So that's where all the dwarfs are gonna go ahead and hide their gems, their gold, and stuff like that. Now before I do finish this place, I go ahead and, like I said before, is put some finishing details. I go ahead and put the the sapphires, topazes, and all of that gems in the cave. I go ahead and put some iron bars for details. I put some statues in the beginning, just a bunch of small details so that the build looks more. Again, before I completely finish this area off, I'm going to go back and add a little bit more details and just work on it a bit more. So as you guys can see, I also fixed the lava problem because I did place lava beforehand. I couldn't fill it up with blocks, so I removed the lava, placed more, and then just continue from there. Eventually I go ahead and get back towards the treasure room. So I figured that just making it from the floor won't be enough. I want like another little platform in the middle, that way I could fit more gold and make it look like that there's more stuff inside that platform. So next up, I try to figure out how can I make this look really filled with treasures. So the first thing that came to my mind was gold bars, but while I was in the crafting station, I noticed that we could go ahead and make those gem holders, like the really big ones that you can see in the background. Again, I wanted to keep it gold, that's why you guys see amber and topaz in the back instead of something that's much more valuable like diamond. But I figured gold is just that touch that just shows like richness pretty much. If it was like a white gem in between all that gold, it just wouldn't be as nice looking, or so I think. So next up, I go ahead and start filling the background. Now this is where I noticed that this is sadly a sand desert underground. The grass area is only above ground and only a small bit, so I wanted to make something that wouldn't get in the way if I have to come here like lately or a lot of times. And I really hate the storms that happens in the desert biome now. It completely pushes you back, gets in your way, and it just ruins the entire visual of the place. So I go ahead and fill the top part up with glass, and the bottom part where lava is standing, I go ahead and put ember gem spark walls, which is the orange one. And like I said before, I go ahead and change the iron beams that holds the railings of the bridge to, what did I change it to? I think gray bricks or stone slabs in the background, and then iron chains on the front. So I'm pretty much done with the dwarven fortress for now. I'm gonna get back to it in a bit, and then in a future episode I'll continue building the dwarven or the dwarf city as I go along in the build. I don't want to waste that much time down below because, believe it or not, that took quite a bit of time. It was over an hour just for that little bit that I put. Now in this episode I will be continuing it, but for now I want to go ahead and go back up to the surface and start making more rooms for NPCs. Like you guys can see, or like I said before, I do like to give my NPCs some space so they could interact with furniture or with other NPCs. So it will be a total of 3 floors and filled with different furniture. So I went ahead and forgot to record the part that I placed furniture, but you didn't miss much. I just went and placed some themed furnitures, which was the spooky, the dynasty, and the sky one, the ones that you find in floating island as those room. And I filled the corridors with pianos of different materials as well. I'll be sure to not forget to record that part next time, so I'm super sorry about that, guys, but I pretty much just placed furnitures on those 3 rooms. It's not much that you missed exactly, since it's the same furnitures. It's the bookshelf, the table, the chair, the chandelier, and the sofa. Same size and everything. So this is where you guys see that I go ahead and start working on the last part of the dwarven fortress. I didn't really like this part. I might change it. I just went and made some rooms, and that's pretty much it for this episode, guys. I know I didn't actually stop talking, so I'm super sorry. No music this time, but there was a lot to talk about, and I just really wanted to fill you guys in. Now I do want to give an update. After the 27th of this month, I am going to be taking a small vacation for 10 days, so you probably won't see much throughout that time, but then we'll be back to it. Next week, again, we'll still be uploading videos normally. And as always, guys, I want to thank you all for watching. If you liked the video, make sure to leave a like. If you have any questions or suggestions, make sure to leave them in the comment section below. If I like it, I'll be sure to place it or make it on this build on a future episode. And as always, thank you all for watching, and I'll catch you guys next time.